Yeah.
What's good in the hood?
Here we go.
I'm
Vito
just trying
practicing
to
them
I'm trying to
shots.
score 62. Yeah, bro. I'm trying to be like Luka and booking him.
Is he 60 or is 62 as in like 60 number 2, because you can probably do both nowadays.
I didn't know how I wanted to do that, so I just put I want to score 60 as well. I didn't know how I was gonna play with that. That's what
Yeah. Hey, come on.
Hold on, let's keep it a buck. So I'm sure you want to score 60 and get the W, of course.
Man,
let's not be cat in the book out here.
Bro, if I score 60, the rest of the team should be able to do enough to get me to a dub. I'm actually coming to their defense on that.
Oh,
or the coach will leave you in, but yeah.
Well, we already the cat joint. I blame that 100% on Chris Finch. We already talked. We already talked about Chris Finch.
Everybody checking in. Trevor sipping his tea already, man. Good morning to y'all. Let's get this show on the road.
Welcome to Let's Be Real Sports Podcast, presented by Let's Be Real Media. Watch us live on YouTube and Twitter, and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at LBR_media. Also, subscribe to us on any podcast platform.
What's going on? BLJ here, the best hype man in the NBA. Man, I'm here with Let's Be Real. Tune in. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back. Let's Be Real podcast at Tev Shakir with my guys. What up, Trevor? What happened to defense? Who the hell knows?
Exactly. Who knows, man? Because all these scoring outbursts, 60s and 70s. I get it. You want to honor Kobe because this is around the time we lost Kobe 4 years ago. But golly, like, put a body on somebody on defense, man. Jesus Christ.
And Mr. I want to score 62. Lito, what's good, brother?
Man, nothing much, bro. Like I said, I'm just trying to get in the gym, bro. I want to score 62.
He wants to score 60 also.
Okay, man. Let's Be Real Media. Make sure you follow us on social media, Twix, Instagram, all that good stuff at LBR Media. Shout out to the gang, 3 the Hardaway Jeans Report, and of course LBR Gaming with Trevor. Right here, man. We begin our leagues in, man. What's up, bro? We finally in this mud. All we need is 3 more, really.
Savage, where are you?
Savage, bitch, yo. Look. I know you got a little shot. I don't see it. I know, but the game is right there too.
You got Shiloh and Zeke. We get it. I get it. Trust me. But whenever you can,
he can put one of them. He can put one of them on here. We'll take one of the 2 kids on here.
Exactly. But yeah, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the game, man. Make sure you subscribe, like everything that you see us with. Tell your best friend. Tell your homies about, Let's Be Real. Bring it the real to you on the podcast. It's a lot of fakeness going on. You know what I'm saying? Whether Wilt scored 100 points or not, it is what it is. But we definitely know that Kobe scored 81 points. That happened January 22nd. Which is why everybody been acting crazy. It's just been that week of let me get in my bag a little bit more. So in a way, whether they fake flowers or not, we do want to recognize the players, the players that turned up for us a little bit extra this over the last week or so with Cat taking that 60-point L, but it is 60. Book with 62, I believe, yesterday. Yesterday. Joel Embiid with his 70 points, and when I didn't think anybody else would score 70 this season, a couple days later, Luka Doncic scored 73. So again, no defense being played, but at the same time, everybody getting in their bag, man. What's your thoughts?
No, if nothing else, I think we should give more praise to those people. Like, granted, like I was watching the highlights from Luka in the Hawks game yesterday. I was watching those highlights, and I was just like, damn, bro, like you would like to see more of some type of defense being played. But however, where most players, or there's a huge majority of the league that can't walk out there and say, I'm going to score 70 tonight, or I'm going to score 70 or 65, or whatever the case may be. I think giving props to Devin Booker and Joel Embiid and Cat and look, I think we should definitely give them flowers and not necessarily say, why are we not playing defense? Right? Because at the end of the day, scoring 60 or scoring 70 in a NBA game, and I believe majority, if not all of these, were done in regulation. I think that's worth giving flowers for real too. So regardless of whatever defense is being played or not, shout out to those individuals for a good week.
Yeah, 100%. Regardless of what may happen on the other side of the ball, you do have to give it up to these guys for putting up the numbers that they put up this week. And it's bound to happen because teams are shooting a lot more threes. So, it only takes a certain guy to get hot from three. If he's like 6 of 10, 7 of 10, 10 of 13 or something from three, more likely you're going to have a big night. So kudos to Luka, kudos to Devin Booker, Cat, Joel Embiid and company for one hell of a week. I mean, that's tough. Thank God I have NBA League Pass and I was able to tune in to some of these games. So big shout out to them.
And it ain't gonna stop no time soon.
Of course not.
No time soon. In fact,
somebody hitting 100. Somebody's getting 100. I don't know who.
Yeah, we actually have footage of it.
Somebody's getting 100. I can definitely say that.
Well, we will actually have proof. But let's go on to I got another flowers as well. Real quick, Jim Harbaugh back in the NFL with the Chargers now after winning the championship with the Michigan Wolverines. Quick thoughts on him coming back to the NFL. What up, Ron?
I'm happy for him. He's back in the NFL. I think he did what he set out to do once he had got to Michigan, which was eventually win the national championship. It was, I hate to say it, but it was really nothing else he could do at Michigan except win the national championship because he pretty much, for most of his tenure there, he pretty much owned Ohio State. So beating Ohio State was not a problem there. Sorry, Sheedy, but it is what it is.
We miss you.
He'll actually vouch for me there. But
yeah.
And then they was always on the cusp of potentially winning it all, but they were running to Alabama or running to Georgia or something like that, someone in the SEC, and then they eventually get knocked out. So for them to actually break through this year and get it done, big shout out to them for that. Not sure what's going to happen with him in the Chargers, because I do think the Chargers as a franchise are cursed, because there's no way you can have the talent that you've had over the years, and then even now with Jay Herbo and company, and still not be at least talked about as one of the contending teams in the AFC. Like that's a little concerning to be there. But again, big shout out to Jim Harbaugh. So Sharon Moore has officially been named the new head coach, the black guy that took over for the team when Jim Harbaugh was suspended. So kudos to Michigan there for actually trying to keep things in house and getting the black guy a chance. That's always a W here on Let's Be Real. So, but flowers definitely to Jim Harbaugh. Best of luck to you in the NFL.
Yeah, no, same. I think it's really impressive what he's done as a football coach. Whether it be, I think he was at Stanford at one point, right? Help me with my memory here.
Yeah.
Yes. So Stanford, San Fran, and what he did in Michigan. He has a really, really good football coach. Not only just his brother, but him as well. So I think it was a good move for him. I think it's one of those that, like, I think he talked about, and a press conference he did maybe a couple weeks ago that like now he's at the big boy table with his brother who's won a Super Bowl, with his dad who's won a national championship. And so now you think that like he's like, okay, now I want both of them, right? I get to do that now coming back to the NFL. So I'm a little interested that he chose the Chargers, because to what you just said, Trevor, like if there's a team that's cursed, right, or there's a team that's finding a way to lose, and if that's the Falcons and the Cowboys in the NFC, then in the AFC it's always the Chargers, right? Chargers are always finding a way to lose a game. But if there's a man in the NFL, if there's a guy out there that can turn it around, it's definitely he or his brother. So props to him. I'm a little salty that that's another big time coach that we as the Steelers or as a Steelers fan, you got to worry about in the AFC, but it is what it is. So props to him.
Yeah.
Y'all got any more flowers?
Yeah, real quick. I think Trevor and I may have the same one, which is definitely want to give flowers real quick to the LSU Tigers and the University of South Carolina women's basketball team for that really good performance over a basketball game that was had on, I think it was Thursday. Man, what a game. What an absolute game. From the time it tipped off, the fans, atmosphere, to how well of a good game that it was towards the end of the fourth quarter. First of all, it's a lovely same quarters in college basketball, by the way. But no, it was a really, really good game. It was competitive. You talk about good, tough shots being taken, but then tough shots being made too. Like that's a different caveat that comes with it. So that's definitely a matchup that I would love to see. Maybe not even the Final Four, but the championship game as well too. I love me some LSU and South Carolina matchups.
Oh yeah, I definitely had that same one, man. And to Skylar's point, man, I just watching a college basketball game and watching 4 quarters is just a breath of fresh air. Like when we're gonna get this for the men, like just do 4 10-minute quarters. That's all you have to do. Everything else will stay the same, I promise you. But yeah, man, kudos to LSU and South Carolina. That was one hell of a game. Like I literally was getting ready to do my NBA on TNT joint. Celtics and Heat was a dud, so I was like, let me put it on this women's game, and I never flipped back. So kudos to them for that.
Kudos to the ladies.
Yeah,
man.
and then sorry, to one last thing on that. I think the viewership on that was 1.5 compared to whatever NBA game that was going on at the same time was a 1.3, right? So if I'm not mistaken,
the Celtics were blowing them out.
Yeah. So regardless of so shout out to everybody that tuned into the game. And again, and that just shows you, I think Dawn Staley had it on the back of her sweatshirt that people watch women's basketball too, or something like that. I hate I'm misquoting, but it was something along those lines. So people are definitely tuning into this women's game for sure.
That's what's up. Women's basketball definitely on the rise, especially with social media and us just wanting to see good basketball being played. Like, I mean, that's just number one for any basketball fan. So definitely salute to the ladies. Of course, they're gonna keep that going for the rest of the season, especially when playoff time come out. I think a lot of people will be paying attention more to women's playoff than men's playoff. I mean, you can quote me on that probably, but I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see you. But again, speaking of playoffs. Let's get into the NFL. Like I tied that in. I'm gonna ask y'all real quick again a few questions because y'all are the football heads. Out of 30, y'all 8 times out of 10 when football talk is being said. Was it a Chiefs win or a Bills loss?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this was 100% a Bills loss. And it's not taking anything away from the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Kansas City Chiefs probably played their best ball that I've seen them play all season. However, Buffalo gave this one away. Buffalo gave it away. Kansas City tried to give it back to them, and then Buffalo was like, nah, we don't want this W. And one thing that kind of bothered me is as soon as that game was over, everyone was immediately playing the blame game as to who was the sole person to blame. And I'm sitting here, it's like, it's everybody. It's literally everybody. First and foremost, you start with Sean McDermott. Like, why the hell is you going for a Hollywood moment in a playoff game, calling a damn fake punt with DeMar Hamlin getting the ball? I'm turning into I'll turn into Patrick Ewing and the Patrick Ewing meme when he was the coach of Georgetown. I'm like, bro, did y'all work on this in practice? And if y'all did, have y'all ran it at some point in the season? Like, what was possessing y'all to actually run this play? To Skylar's point, what he always says, I think coaches get to overthinking sometimes. Like, Sean McDermott almost lost his job because of it. If it wasn't for McCole Hardman fumbling the ball out of the end zone on the Chiefs' next drive after that, we'd be talking about Sean McDermott being unemployed at this point. Then we go to Josh Allen. Josh Allen turned back into what I always say Josh Allen was. He tried to hit the big home run play when he really didn't need to on that last drive, which led to the missed field goal by Tyler Bass. And then Stephon Diggs, I don't care if the ball was underthrown, if you had to come back to it, the ball literally hit you in your hands and hit you in the chest. Like, you have to make that catch. But kudos to the Kansas City Chiefs. At this point, again, to what my guys say, you don't pick against Pat Mahomes. And if they get past the AFC Championship, which we'll talk about that later, you might as well chalk them up for winning the Super Bowl at this point.
Yeah, y'all know I love me some Pat Mahomes. And where I would want to say the Kansas City took that dub. Bills coughed it up, bro. Trevor, you talked about Sean McDermott and his inability, or his ability to almost hand the game right at Andy Reid in Pat Mahomes' hands. Granted, there were some throws here and there, or maybe a throw, or maybe two throws where I'm like, Josh Allen, that's a throw that he probably shouldn't make, or take that check down there. But there was a drop by Stephon Diggs. There was a drop by Shakir. There was a missed field goal to even get it to overtime, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of those that you take a step back and you understand why there are teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, or why there are teams like the New England Patriots, right? Somehow, some way, the ball always bounces in their favor. Sometimes there's always a drop by the other team. There's always a missed field goal by the other team. And at this point, the Buffalo Bills are the brother to the Kansas City Chiefs, right? So, with all that being said, Buffalo definitely lost the game, but it was just another reminder. It's like, damn, Kansas City, it just happens for them, which is why I almost never do bet against them, right? So Buffalo definitely coughed that one up. They had multiple chances to not only tie but win the game.
And let me ask y'all this: did Stephon Diggs have his moment on the field again? You know how you always like to watch the opposing team celebrate.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think it
remember.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know. I was just curious.
I don't think they did.
I was just curious. And I'm kind of surprised at y'all answers, man, because one of our commandments is if a player or if anybody shows who they are, at this point we gotta believe them. We don't have to go into that conversation on whether Josh Allen is it or not. But at the same time, I can't wait to have a conversation with y'all because y'all named him the White Cam Newton, and I still don't appreciate that bullshit. We're going to talk about that later.
I did not do that, sir.
No, not y'all. Not, of course not. Y'all got my. That's why I defer to y'all.
Okay, you talking to the man.
I defer to you, gentlemen. But y'all, as in,
I got a little bit more respect for Cam Newton than that now.
Y'all, as in them other idiots.
All right.
But we definitely gonna talk more about that in upcoming episodes for sure. But another motto of ours is consistency is key. One of the more consistent teams of the NFC has been the Detroit Lions. So, fellas, I gotta ask Trev, you with the wifey? I know she holding it down at the house with Detroit in a back. Detroit, they're gonna take it all the way.
Man, look, shout out to my wife, shout out to my mother-in-law who were just having probably the grandest time last week.
Answer carefully, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a loaded question.
Because I feel like he's setting it up, bro. I
truly believe that Detroit can win it all. They have the tools. They can run the football effectively. They have a good offensive line. Sam Laporta is doing his thing. Amon St. Brown is doing his thing. I just don't trust Jared Goff. That's my only that's my only thing. But again, we'll get to that when we pick the NFC Championship.
Okay.
But I do think that they can win it all. I think the game last week with the 49ers and the Packers kind of showed me a lot, which, again, we'll get to that when we talk about them. But Detroit has the tools. They got a decent defense led by Aiden Hutchinson, but that secondary is a little shaky. I had PTSD last week watching Cam Sutton get burnt by Mike Evans because Cam Sutton used to do that a lot with the Steelers, especially when he was not lined up in the nickel. But they 100% can. They can get to the Super Bowl and they can win. They have the tools to do it. It's just some questions in that secondary, and then of course Jared Goff, because sometimes Jared Goff makes some bonehead plays like, yo, what the hell was that, or what the hell are you doing? But can they win it? 100%.
Yeah, it's crazy how the world turns, right? Like, let's go back 6-7 years ago. I can't remember exactly when the Lions went 0-16, and maybe even later than that. But like, let's take it back just even 6 or 7 years ago and say to yourself, like, if we were on this podcast and somebody said the Detroit Lions going to the NFC Championship, or there's a chance where the Detroit Lions is going to the Super Bowl, you're like, bro, hell no. Like, even when Dan Campbell was hired to be the coach of the Lions, and he was talking about biting people's kneecaps off, you're like, get your ugly ass out of here, bro. But to like see like how he's revamped that football team, bro, and they are fighting for him, bro. Like, if nothing else, like, that's what I appreciate about good coaches is players will do their all. They will run through a brick wall for you, and to see how much they care for him, to see how much they trust him. You see that now on the football field. You see that now with Jared Goff. Jared Goff, in my opinion, he's playing with more swag now than he played with when he was with the Rams. They have talent on both sides of the ball. They got Aiden Hutchinson. They got a really good offensive line. They got Penei Sewell. They got Amon St. Brown. They got Branch. They have Sam Laporta. It's weapons all around, up and down their roster. So yes, they can definitely make it. And I wouldn't be shocked. And again, I know we'll pick this game later on. I wouldn't be shocked if they made it to the Super Bowl, but could you imagine the story that would come with it, right? Like, that's crazy, bro. And if you're in the city of Detroit, or if you're in the state of Michigan, you've had the Wolverines winning. You're seeing the success of the Lions. Now, granted, the Detroit Pistons ain't doing much for you, but you like, what a time this got to be, bro. So I know, he ain't gonna pop in here at some point, but damn, like, what a ride he got to be on right now.
Oh, let's not forget that the draft is being held in Detroit this year as well. So that's gonna be stupid, regardless of where the Lions finish. That is gonna be stupid come April.
It's gonna be a good time. And you know what is gonna be a good time is definitely me. I just imagine like the first lady with a shoe in her hand when you answering that question. Because you kind of deflected a little bit.
She on the side like, I wish you.
You know why I'm at, Lito. You know why I'm at, dog. She ready for the answer. I'm ready for
like,
that.
Bro, she's like, babe, you better be real careful how you answer this question. But she know I'm gonna keep it 100. But at the end of the day,
of course.
That's gonna be live tweeting from the Sherman like live tweeting from Sherman gonna be like live tweeting from the guest room.
Why am I me?
Oh man.
Look. I'm already finna be broke come February because I got a lot of stuff to get wifey, and it's all Lions and University of Michigan stuff. So look, she'll be all right.
She got it. She got the love coming. Man. So next question, real quick. I got a real answer to this. I've been on the Lamar bandwagon since he was one of the top picks in my fantasy league because I knew he was just gonna have a stupid year. I knew that the media was coming after him, was only gonna fire him up, on him, being quarterbacky, whatever the hell that is, to hiring his mom and doing all kind of crazy ish to now he's finally producing in the playoffs. So real quick question. I got my answer. My answer is a yes, and of course that's foreshadowing. But are the Ravens the team to beat? And that's crazy because we don't bet against Patrick Mahomes, right? But again, are the Ravens the team to beat in the NFL right now?
The Ravens, for a vast majority of the season, have looked like the best team in football. They're probably the most balanced. You know what you're getting with Lamar. Zay Flowers has been a godsend for them. Like, the Ravens getting him in the draft was key. You got Odell, who's looking just a fraction like the Odell that was in Los Angeles when they had that Super Bowl run. So he's able to make some catches there. And then again, you already know what you're getting with Lamar. You already know what you're getting with that defense as well. So yeah, they earned the number 1 seed for a reason. We'll get to the AFC Championship when we talk about it. But yeah, until they're just that complete. I mean, there's nothing else I can really say about it. They're good on every phase on every aspect of the game. So yeah, to answer the question, yes, I think they're the team to beat.
Yeah, like understanding that they're playing the Chiefs today, and I know we still got to pick the game, but yeah, I mean, from the standpoint of, can definitely say that they have the best defense of the 4 teams remaining. Can definitely say they probably have the second best coach, and it's arguable. You could probably argue that they have the best coach right now. Probably one of the better quarterbacks of all. Probably one, probably second behind Mahomes. So there's that. But then they've beaten smacked the 49ers, smacked the Detroit Lions. I don't recall them playing the Chiefs at all this past season. So you can take that part out. But yeah, I would definitely say real quick that they are the team to beat for sure.
And Toop just so happened to just bounce away from us once again, but I'm sure he'll be back.
He got abducted by the tiger that sits behind him. The
tiger's yeah, but first he already said yes as well. He feels that with Lamar Jackson being the way that Lamar Jackson is, who's on his way to another MVP campaign, that the Ravens will definitely be the team to beat. And just right on cue, our buddy is back. Anything on the Ravens and Lamar?
Nah, man. I'll leave my comments for what we'll talk about against them going to the Chiefs for real, because I still, in a way, don't know who I got winning. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But of course, are we finally is this win needed for Brock Purdy to finally be respected? And what I mean by that is because, like, you got, again, Cam Newton with his game managers coming and coming at him when really, look at the weapons around you. And granted, is Debo playing actually? Do y'all know if Debo's playing? He is playing. So
from what I've been seeing, yeah, Debo is playing.
So with Debo playing, you have no excuse to get it done. But will he get it done? Oh, I guess we'll ask that in a bit. But is this win needed for him to get respect finally from everybody?
For everybody, yes. For me, no. You got to look at it, bro. Like, that man, Brock Purdy, has overcome a lot, right? To literally be the last pick of the draft, to had started last season, I guess, third string quarterback or third on the depth chart for quarterbacks, to work his way up, to lead his team as far as he did last year to the NFC Championship. And case can be made that they win the championship game if he doesn't get hurt. So there's that. And then to see the wins that he has in the fashion that he has, not only last year, but this year. Bro, for me, I don't think there's anything left for him to prove. Honestly, that's for me. Because if you think about it, bro, if let's say you're Brock Purdy, right? You got the left tackle that you have Brandon Ayuk that you have Deebo Samuels that you have the head coach that you have, and you have the defense that you have. Anybody's going to thrive in that, right? So, like, where you want to, like, knock him for that, like, I also don't understand this notion that, like, when he doesn't have a bad game or when he has a bad game, that it's all on him or it's Brock Purdy's fault. Granted, he had a bad game last week, but he made the throws when he made the throws when necessary to get his team to, in winning on the winning drive, and then to win the game. And then again, his team is hosting the NFC Championship game. In my opinion, the man has done enough. I don't think there's anything left to prove. But again, to answer the question, I think he has to win the game to get more respect. But I think he's done enough.
I like that answer.
Yeah, I would kind of echo those same sentiments, because I was on the other end of the spectrum of saying, because he has all these weapons, he has the easiest job in football. And He made the timely throws, but I again, some people will be like, well, CMC was CMC. But again, when you have the talent that you have on there with CMC and things of that nature, you know, of course you're going to thrive in the offense, because when CMC is running all over the field, it's a little bit easy for you to run play action and make some throws. But I think Brock Purdy has proven time and time again that he can actually go out and make the plays that need to be made for San Fran. I think what people are missing, or what people want to see from him, is to have that game-winning drive where it's just him taking the offense to the promised land. And he's capable of doing it because of the weapons he has around him. But at this point, he has my respect. I will say that he has my respect, but he definitely needs this game to garner respect from everyone else. So to answer the question, for me, no. But from everyone else, from the casual eye to the naked eye, yes. He definitely needs this game.
It's funny, like you said, right, by the casual eye, because the casual eye is somebody like myself who believe that, you know, in order for you to get respect, you just got to win. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of, you know, who's on your team, who's not on your team. I think even when we look at, you know, the Tom Brady situation when he came into the league, how he was one of the last picks or whatever his story is, and he ended up, you know, becoming good. Then he became great. Then he became the greatest, you know, quote unquote. And, you know, it could be a story just like Brock Purdy, like you said, y'all said it, like he came from literally nothing, which is respectable. But in order for you to get respect from the casual eye like myself, we need you to win. I need you to win, especially against a Detroit Lions team with, you know, I'm not sure who's favored at this point, to be honest with you. So this is one of those times in your career. Of course, it's early. You know what I'm saying? It's super early. Like this is like his second, third year in the league. I guess second starting at this point. So it's still super early. But this will be one of those games like, all right, Brock, I see you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing who wins the Lions and the 49ers game. Of course, we got our answers coming up, but let's hear a word from our sponsor.
SeatGeek is the ticket app that takes the confusion out of buying tickets. When you use our code LBR Media, you will get $20 off your first SeatGeek order. SeatGeek scores each ticket selection 0 to 10 to let you know if you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Click the link in the description to download the app, and remember our code LBR Media for $20 off your first order. SeatGeek, your route to high quality ticket selection.
Hey, shout out to the good folks at SeatGeek, man. Shout out to the good folks at SeatGeek. I'm so happy that whoever's buying SeatGeek tickets don't have to buy them for the Chiefs game. They have to buy for the Ravens game because it's at Ravens. And I would rather see my people do the swag surf than the Chiefs people do the swag surf. But it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Chiefs and Ravens, fellas, who y'all got? Help me with this one, but I think I got my answer.
Oh man, both of these. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Go ahead, Trevor.
I'll go ahead. Both of these games are tough, and Ryan said it perfect earlier when talking about it. Like playing against the Chiefs, you got to damn near be perfect, and whoever's on the other side under center against Patrick Mahomes, like you have to pretty much give a Herculean effort to beat Pat Mahomes. Like you literally have to go and beat Pat Mahomes. What concerns me is this whole notion with the whole referees thing, because there's a referee that's supposed to be refereeing this game to where the home team only wins 40% of the time. He flags home teams more often than not. But if there's anybody that's able of giving that Herculean effort to beat Patrick Mahomes, it is Lamar Jackson. Give me the Ravens, 27. Kansas City Chiefs, 24.
This one's tough, bro. It's tough because Lamar Jackson is on a whole nother level. The run game is on a whole nother level. That defense is top tier. I swear I remember when we talked about the Ravens this past year, I swear I was like, bro, I don't know if the Ravens defense is going to be as good as it historically is, right? And I'll be damned if Kyle Hamilton, I promise you, the safety for the Baltimore Ravens, Kyle Hamilton, is always around the ball. He's always making some type of big play. They have one of the better linebacking groups in the NFL with Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. Jadeveon Clowney, Jesus Christ, came out of nowhere and is having a really, really good season. Again, have a really good coach. But I'd be damned, bro, if I didn't just look up and see Patrick Mahomes. I think this is his fifth or sixth year in the league, one of the two. The man has only been an underdog 11 times, too. 11 times he's been an underdog. To take that a step further, in those 11 times he's an underdog, bro, he's 9-1-1, bro. That is insane. That is insane. That is insane. So where I still have my doubts about the Kansas City wide receiver room, I still have doubts about Travis Kelce. Has not been the typical Travis Kelce that we've seen. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing I said last week. I'm not betting against Pat Mahomes. So give me the Chiefs to win 21-18. I think kind of low scoring.
Ooh, low scoring. Okay. I can rock with that. Dude.
I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. Like, because we don't bet against Pat Mahomes. So is what we sounded like is what we need every black person listening to this podcast. So just extend your arms in the air, right? And we finna try to make one of the biggest spirit bombs that we can possibly make for Lamar to beat this dude, so we don't have to see Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. Like, we need this. We need it. We like NEEDEED, all capitalized, exclamation points. But damn, Pat Mahomes is the epitome of greatness, man. So it's like he's ready for moments like this. He wants moments like this. He's been through moments like this. I gotta ride him. I give me the Ravens.
I was like, just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. For the simple fact that I was born right outside of Baltimore. Give me the Ravens. That spirit bomb came 31 years ago. We're gonna take them down, baby.
Brian got the Ravens. Hey,
and again, go ahead, Trevor.
I was just gonna say it's tough picking against 5-1 in the playoffs when you're 5-1 in the divisional and playoff round when your only loss is being to Brady. When you're really honest and true, when your only loss in the playoffs, period, has been to Tom Brady. So that's
which technically they should have won that game.
Yeah, the first one against New England. Yeah, I'll definitely give you that.
Mm-hmm.
The Super Bowl, his offensive line was just beat up, and nobody was blocking for him. But yeah, if there's anyone that's gonna actually outplay Pat Mahomes and actually go and get it, it's Lamar Jackson, and I think he does it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna say too, don't feel bad about it, like, because again, you shouldn't bet against Pat Mahomes. But again, so they're missing Joe Tooney, a really good. They did listen to the Bengals as well. They're missing Joe Tooney, really good. I think it's all pro guard on their line. He's not going to be out. So again, where you want to give the credit to Baltimore's defense, who looked hungry, who looked ready for the Chiefs even after their win against the Texans last week. That defense for Baltimore is going to be insane. But I'd be damned, bro. If I've seen Pat Mahomes win some games, I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't even be in the game, but let alone to win it is crazy. Again, when I heard that he's only been an underdog 11 times and he's 9-1-1 in that, that's tough to ignore. So that's the only reason, and I do mean the only reason, I'm going with the Chiefs in this one.
All right,
Lamar Jackson. If Joe Shiesty can get it done for us, you can get it too, my brother. My young quarterbacky brother. Get it done, man. Speaking of doing it for the culture, everybody in Detroit hoping that the Lions do it for the culture. So, gentlemen, 49ers, Lions, are we going to see the first lady tackle Trevor out of nowhere? Who y'all got? I don't know. Whoever want to take it first.
I'll go first.
Go ahead,
Trevor,
Trevor.
I'm going to let you keep thinking on it, right? Because I swear I feel like Amanda's is like, I wish you would say the 49ers. Man, I can't get whatever it is in my eye. I can't get it out. I'm going with the 49ers just for the simple fact that I think Debo is going to play to what extent he's going to be healthy enough to be impactful. That I'm not sure about. But Trevor mentioned the Detroit Lions secondary, which was getting absolute burnt by Baker last week, right? And so whether you want to say that was partly Baker, or you can say that, like, damn, Detroit, like, do something about your secondary. I just don't know if they can make enough plays in the secondary against Kittle, against Ayuk, against Debo. And then I still worry about their run defense a little bit as well, too, because C-Mac is running the hell out of the ball. And I just hadn't seen too many teams be able to neutralize that. So from that standpoint, I think Brock Purdy makes at least 2 or 3 more plays than Jared Goff. Therefore, give me the 49ers.
Hooey. This game is definitely going to come down to the trenches. I'm going to say this as well. The last team to score a touchdown wins this game. To Skyler's point, what he mentioned about the Lions secondary, that is 100% accurate, because golly, Baker was looking like a whole nother Baker, just dotting that secondary up. But what concerns me as well, I know Skyler mentioned the Lions run defense, is also the 49ers run defense, because Green Bay was able to actually run the ball pretty well. Aaron Jones had, I think, 110 yards on like 18 carries. And their offensive line is not that great. Green Bay's offensive line compared to Detroit is not that great with Penei Sewell and company on that line. They should be able to run the ball pretty decent with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Again, the last touchdown wins this game. I'll sleep on the couch on this one, but I know it's going to be close. Give me the 49ers. I'm going to go 31-24, the 49ers. I will gladly be wrong if Detroit, because Detroit can win this game. I 100% believe that they can win this game, but I just think that secondary and then Debo's back in the lineup, that's going to be a problem for Detroit. But I think Detroit keeps it close. So give me 31-24. The 49ers go to the Super Bowl. And it hurts me because I want the blackest Super Bowl possible. I want Baltimore and Detroit in the Super Bowl, but it's a lot to overcome. It's just too much to overcome for Detroit.
Yeah. That's the wrong Trevor.
I'll take it at this point. Keep it 100.
Tell First Lady we sorry, man, but it's a 3-0 sweep on this pod. I've said for the last month or so that I do see the 49ers being in the Super Bowl. And I said specifically, I do see them going against the Ravens. I've said that multiple times, and unfortunately, it's coming down to, the Lions, who are having a hell of a season. A hell of a season. I hate the Pistons have to be sacrificed for it, but it is what it is. They turned out there, and of course we want it to be the blackest Super Bowl in the NFL history. I mean, you talk about all kind of nigga moments that's gonna happen. Like
you got Usher performing at halftime. Like it just makes sense.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it all, but at the same time, I think this moment Brock Purdy has had to hear for the last year on if he would have played, they would have went to the Super Bowl. And I think you're going to have to live up to that pressure. And I think that he's going to actually do it. I think when you talk about Christian McCaffrey, who I've seen since his rookie year, give him the ball, get the hell out the way. That's how they're going to win this game. And of course, Debo being back helps. But, you talk about just the 49ers organization as a whole, again, a literal year of hearing if we would have had an actual quarterback. I think it got to a point last year they didn't have a quarterback playing for them in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, because Brock Purdy got injured. Yeah. So.
Brock Purdy, and I think his backup got injured too, right? Or whoever they had back him up.
Yeah.
So it's like just a whole bunch of what ifs for the last year. I think that it resulted in a much better 49ers team over the season, but for two, a team that's more ready for the moment than the Lions. And of course, we got to roll with the commandment here. If a player shows us who they are, we got to believe them. Until Jared Goff does it, I mean, he's went to the Super Bowl before, but of course, what happened to him? against this crazy 49ers defense that's been consistent for the better part of forever. I mean, it's written for Detroit to have a good time, but it's all good times must end. And I gotta say it's gonna end this weekend against the 49ers. So again, sorry, First Lady, but it's a 3-0 sweep over here.
Yeah. We may do her a favor. We all just picked the 49ers. So that's what that means. We wrong.
Like I said, I would gladly be wrong, and I will give credit where credit is due. But I mean, at Debo being back in the lineup and then that secondary, that's gonna be tough to overcome. But everything else they match up with them pretty well. So we'll see.
I honestly, like, just for the Lions fan, because I know it's a lot of Detroit that listens out of Detroit. This is one of those things where if you are wrong, cool. Like, I'm happy to actually be wrong because actually we get nigga moments at the Super Bowl. Like, I want that to happen.
It's right there. Like,
it's right there for us.
Right there.
But one thing that, you know, you guys have been able to persuade me on as far as, you know, our podcast senior, and y'all know exactly what I'm finna bring up, is that, hey, that dude, Glenn Rivers, he can't coach. Y'all convinced me over the years multiple times, and multiple times he said exactly what is going to happen, what y'all have predicted. So how the hell does he get a chance to coach the Milwaukee Bucks, for one? That's number one. And for two, how far y'all going? Because we talking about a 3-0 sweep, and you know what I'm saying here, you know, let them get the first round again.
Yeah, bro.
What are y'all thoughts on Doc Rivers joining the Bucks?
Man, look, that's the title. The title of this episode, bro. Bro, you can't keep getting away with this, bro. Like how is it every time you're receiving a coaching job, it is with a team that is supposedly contending? Like I just can't get it. Like we need to find his agent or something. But honestly and truthfully, I mean, for all that what we give flack on Doc Rivers for, I kind of got to look at the Bucks front office on this one, because this seems like a panic hire on their end because of everything that I was hearing. And then with Adrian Griffin, this was who I guess Giannis wanted for the most part, because we got to look at we know the NBA is a players' league and things of that nature. So we kind of got to give a side out of Giannis on this one. And I think Milwaukee is kind of doing everything in their power to try and keep Giannis happy in this shape or form, which I don't know why. I mean, Giannis already signed an extension to re-up with you guys the moment y'all traded for Dame, which was what Giannis asked for. But I'm just baffled at this. I don't see how this is gonna work, because everybody that has played for Doc Rivers at some point in shape or form has a podcast, and they say the exact same thing. He does not coach. He does not make adjustments. He is about to run a Dame Giannis pick and roll till the cows come home, and it's gonna work sometimes. It's not gonna work. There are no adjustments are gonna be made. And I can definitely see Milwaukee going out in the second round in embarrassing fashion, by the way. I can see them losing to, believe it or not, the Indiana Pacers, if you really want to keep it a buck. I mean, I guess congrats to Doc for getting another job, but that payroll for the Bucks is crazy, because they still paying Adrian. They not only still paying Adrian Griffin, they're still paying Mike Budenholzer as well. Because remember, Adrian Griffin came on for 4 years, and he was fired after 3 months in the season. It's baffling, but I guess if you're comfortable with losing in the second round of the playoffs, be my guest. And I think it's going to happen to the Indiana Pacers.
Second,
you can book that right now.
Second, you got them going to the second round.
Yeah. They'll unless they match up with the Pacers. Now, if they match up with the Pacers in the first round, then it's a wrap.
Or the Heat.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, or the Heat.
I got a cousin that I'm always like, bro, how do you stay with a job? It's exactly how I feel with Doc Rivers. First of all, props to him, because the man gonna stay paid. Doc Rivers is going to stay paid, bro. But just like my cousin, I'd be like, damn, bro, you got let go from this job 2 weeks ago, and now you got this one. Or you did something inappropriate at that job, and now you got this one. How do you continuously have a job? So at some point, you stop hating. You be like, bro, I'll just give you your credit where credit is due. Flip side of the coin, though, is I don't like how the Bucks went about this. I really, really don't. And to what Trevor said, if I'm not mistaken, Giannis handpicked Griffin. He handpicked him. So therefore, if you are 30-13, you and Dame or the rest of the team are having an issue with said coach that you decided to bring on, then that should be a reflection on you, right? To let a first-year head coach go 30-13 and you fire him. Not only do you fire him, but you bring on a consultant for him. You fire said coach, and then you hire the consultant. Mm-hmm. It's two things. It's two people or two things that's undefeated in this world: Father Time and karma. And karma is that. See, you don't want to play with karma. And I'll be damned, bro, if I didn't see this and I said to myself, you know what would be true karma? Is if they lost to the Sixers at some point in the playoffs.
I would love
that. For me, would be just wild. And that would be entertaining.
Yeah, and because honestly, truthfully, they had the opportunity to hire Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse could be coaching the Bucks right now. Like, they had the opportunity to get Nick Nurse, and they said, no, we're going to go with Adrian Griffin, who Giannis handpicked for this situation. And let's not remember, they was going to fire Mike Budenholzer, but they just so happened to win the championship. They bought him another season. So I don't know what's going on in Milwaukee, but like Skyler said, karma is a you-know-what. And it's going to strike the Bucks in the ways that it already hit them once for Miami knocking them off last season in the playoffs, but it's going to hit them again in some shape or form.
Out of nowhere. And shout out to Damian Adams. I was on this podcast a couple of days ago, and he officially dubbed me as the person who called out Giannis bullshit way before everybody, because he believes that the Giannis hate is about to come. Well, y'all know me. I hate when people call him the best player in the game. I hate it. It hurts me. And I always feel like if he is the best player in the game, the NBA is in a messed up situation. How? What does he do? And now you got a coach who, like I said, finna pick and roll him to death, and he already don't set picks already. So now he's going to be out of his game. And now you're going to go against a Miami team in the first round who already whooped your ass last year, who was a better team that's gunning for you because you got the player that they originally wanted. And I hate this for Dame. I hate this for Dame. He don't want to be there. And y'all said it multiple times on why Doc Rivers ain't a good coach. Trevor, you brought up the players who said that he's not a good coach. And now you're in a system where it's like, it's not going to work. Are they better? Of course, they got the number 2 in the team in the West, but I mean the East. Are they better than the Celtics? No. Are they better than the Sixers? No. Are they better than the Knicks? No. Are they better than the Heat? No. Do I have them over the Pacers? Yes.
I think Indiana
not even in the top 5 in the East.
I think Indiana gets them this year.
I think so too.
Yeah, because how many times has Indiana beat them already?
4 times.
Too many.
Too many.
That's why Giannis had to get that 60-point ball back. It wasn't the fact that, I finally beat them niggas. Let me get the ball.
No, like, here's a funny stat. I ain't do the actual research, but I kind of agree. Gilbert Arenas said this on his podcast. I think Doc Rivers is the only coach to have coached so many Hall of Fame caliber players, but to only have one championship to show for it. That's a problem.
The heavens light of shine upon Lito.
Mac, Paul Pierce, AD, Ray Allen, James Harden, who will be in the Hall of Fame, Joel Embiid,
and the ring he got wasn't even that earned. The ring he got wasn't even that earned, bro.
No.
Again, the man goes, he gonna stay paid. He gonna stay paid, and you got to give him credit for that. But damn,
yeah,
at one point you got to be like. At one point, you got to be like, bro, sit your ass down.
But I will
I agree here though. At least I ain't got to listen to him on ESPN. Pole ride LeBron. So I will say that.
That man
because,
said,
oh boy. No,
that
I
man
mean,
said
I
his
think the only
voice is
game that he is.
ashy.
I think the only game that I watched with him actually doing commentary was the Grizzlies Lakers game when they smacked the Lakers that one game. Like anytime he's on, I change the channel. I was like, bro, I just can't do it. I can't do it.
So
What is
speaking
an
of the
ashy voice, bro?
yeah, it's not like you that in all game. Like, come on, man. Like you gotta let that out. Let me chill. Speaking of the reason I brought up the bus because I thought of a would you rather. So shout out to the would you rather segment of the show. One thing that they were saying was because they traded Drew Holiday and brought in Dame, of course the defense has gone down. So I wanted to ask you, gentlemen, in a way specifically on the Bucks, but when you think about the whole concept of things, right? So would you rather have good/great defensive players and okay coaching, or great defensive schemes with okay/good defenders? And what I mean by that is when last year we had great defensive players on the Bucks, you had 3 people that was top 10 in the defensive player of the year, 4 people in the top 15, and Bobby Portis, Drew Holiday, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. But you got outwitted by a great defensive scheme that is Spo. And that's happened multiple times before. And granted, of course, the Miami here to play defense, but compared to the talent levels of the defenses, which would you rather have? And there's just a comparison, but you can just say that as an overall thing, like which would you rather have? And I answer with defensive scheme.
That's
by the
a
way,
tough one.
that's my answer.
That
Defensive
is,
scheme.
that is a tough one. Because on
I'm going to go.
end,
Go ahead,
Scott. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think I'm going to go with scheme. I'm going with scheme based off of the example that Took provided, because when you have a really good scheme, regardless of who you put in that role, regardless of who you put in the dunker spot, regardless of whoever you put at the top of the zone, or whoever's in the middle of the zone, or whoever's controlling the paint, it's almost to the point that regardless of who you put there, your defense is going to work, right? So when there's a scenario in which you have 3 or 4 really good defensive players, I still got 2 people that I can attack. Or let's say one of those 2 people that's really good defensively is out, right? So then now your defense already drops a step down anyway. But when I know I can put Trevor, Skylar, and Took, and Sheedy and Sharky, I could put those 5 and I can swap them out anywhere. I can always replace those guys out and put another 2 or 3 there. And I know my scheme is going to work and it's effective, regardless of who's playing or who has the ball. I'd rather go with scheme.
I like that.
Yeah, give me schemes as well, man. To what everything Skylar said, because when you have a specific game plan to stop somebody and you know it's going to work, and you can just plug and put anybody in that situation to stop the player. Like, you look at what happened the last 2 of the last 3 times Miami has matched up with the Bucks. They basically said, we're going to play a zone against Giannis, find some other way to beat us. And as you saw 2 out of those 3 times, it didn't work out for Milwaukee. So, yeah, definitely give me defensive schemes on that one.
Yeah, and another thing to add to add to the scheme as well, right, is that helps the communication with the defense, right? Because at the end of the day, if I got 3 solid guys, I can still know how to attack it. I don't necessarily have to worry about who's got that guy there, or who's supposed to jump the screen there, or jumping under the scheme there. Everybody, when you have a really good defensive scheme, which makes the Heat, which is why I like watching the Heat in the playoffs, is not too many times you see a missed assignment. And again, you can they'll walk in 2 G League players. You're like, who the hell is this? But then they lock it down though, right? And it's because everybody is able to communicate who's supposed to be where, when they're supposed to get there, and regardless of who's there or who's not there, everybody knows assignment. So that's another reason I like the scheme as well.
Great answer, fellas.
Yeah.
Great answer. What y'all got?
Well, I already given the troll and all, but I'll say it again for those at home. Troll and all, the Milwaukee Bucks will lose to the Indiana Pacers in the playoffs if they match up. Because I know they're going to match up because of all the storyline stuff that's been talking about all season. So troll and all, Milwaukee will lose to the Indiana Pacers. Whether it be the first round, conference semis, the first round, or the conference semis, Milwaukee will lose to the Indiana Pacers in 6 games.
I'm only going to say no for the simple fact that I don't want them to lose to the Pacers. I want them to lose to the Sixers. That's what I really, really want. At that point, I feel like justice is served. So Trevor, you're making a really good point. And really, the Bucks should lose to them, but somehow, some way, I just wish that they could somehow, some way match up against the Sixers and get washed. That's what I want. At that point, karma and justice would be served.
And my leeway is the fact that, you know, if the season stopped now, the Bucks would be going against the Heat. I want the Heat to twax that ass again. But to answer,
yeah, Miami will get that 7th spot based on who's going to play right
especially
now.
if they play the Bucks. Oh yeah, you know, Jimmy Jordan finna come out. He ain't worried about that. But in the spirit of course, answer your question, I've already had my dose of the youth taking over the OGs. I say that when saying, you know, SGA taking over Steph Curry's starting position in the Western Conference in the West Conference and All-Star game. I say that to say, hey, Tyrese Halliburton, he did that Dame time for a reason. He's saying it's my time now. And now you got again Glenn Rivers there with the Bucks, who I already said ain't a good team anyway, who's don't have a good defensive scheme. Like I said, we're bringing it back to, do they really have good defensive players? You know, so again, you talk about offense with the Pacers. Of course, the game will slow down in the playoffs, but I mean, just look at how Tyrese Halliburton going. Like, if you slow it down if you want to, he still got that 3 that he gonna hit, and they just got Siakam specifically for this reason. So give me the Pacers.
All right. Well, based on everything with the standings, yeah, if Milwaukee just so happened to escape the Heat, the next round matchup will be against the Sixers. So, Skylar, you right on point if that was the case.
Oh boy, can we make sure? Can we timestamp what I just said? Because I feel like we might need to reuse that clip.
Oh, I'm definitely clipping this portion, right? I'm definitely clipping this.
I can't wait. So I have a very random question for you. And again, y'all are the basketball heads right about now until I turn it up a little bit more. Who's the better guard for the Atlanta Hawks? Is it Dejounte Murray? Dejounte Murray, is it Trae Young? I'm literally just asking for my knowledge. Who's the better guard?
Who's the better guard for the specific Atlanta Hawks?
Specifically the Atlanta Hawks, or just in general?
Specifically, just in general.
In general,
but who I rather have Dejounte Murray, without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. I rather have Dejounte Murray, but Atlanta is Trade City. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I would much rather have Dejounte as well. But to Two's point, Atlanta is Trade City, but honestly, truthfully, Atlanta needs to blow it up. I've been saying for years now they need to trade Trae Young and just start over. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen, but yeah, give me Dejounte.
Dang, trading 27 and 11 though is crazy. Like,
no, because the problem with it is it's nothing against Trae and his play. I don't think Trae is the guy you build a team around. I think Trae can be a big piece on a contending team, but I don't think you don't build your team around him. I think them getting to the conference finals in 2021 was kind of a kiss of death for them, because they had them thinking they were actually right there, and they really weren't.
Touche. All right. Well, I don't have anything, fellas. Y'all got anything else?
Nah, man. This was good.
Bet. Well, appreciate everybody for checking us out. Good talk, good basketball talk, good football talk. Lamar, bring it home for us. We need you, man. We need you. We need you.
We need the blackest Super Bowl possible. Like,
right. So we can have baby shower food for the Super Bowl event. I want some baby shower food.
But now, shout out to gang, shout out to y'all, shout out 3 the Hardaway. We will be recording tomorrow. Prayers up for the guy Sheedy. Dreams Report. Make sure y'all check him out. Dreams Report. LBR game with the guy Trevor. Thank God we finally get some hoops in. Savage, get your ass on. I know you being father of the year, but you know, hey,
it is what it is, man. You see two out here throwing these lobs. Throw me these
easy
lobs.
money, man. Easy to make sure you hit us up on YouTube. Few subscribers away from 200, so help us get there.
Yes.
Shout out to our guy Ryan Harris podcast coming soon, or may not be coming soon. Who knows? Again, make shout out to our sponsors as well with SeatGeek. At Tab Shakir is where you can follow me on Twix, Instagram, all that good stuff, fellas.
Yeah, I'm at the art. Damn, I'm
Where y'all
taking.
at? Where y'all at?
Go ahead, lead on. I'm sorry.
@_Skylater on Twix.
I'm at the Art of Trevor on Twix. Simply Trevor LBR on Instagram and YouTube, as Tuga already mentioned. So you know, we moving.
Shout out to everybody for checking us out. LBR Media out this gang.